Team 9 of 52 teams of 8 rival wisdoms. Help make America wiser and kinder with antique quotes that have passed the test of time to make humanity great, with words of wisdom to encourage, educate, and entertain generations for centuries. Give your kids a competitive edge with faster reading skills with timed practice videos, alpha cipher puzzles to learn letters, words and phrases, and repetitive easy math to help us all grow wiser and kind.
Team quote 9.1. Until we are all free, we are none of us free. Emma Lazarus, 1849 to 1887. This powerful quote by Emma Lazarus, a remarkable American poet, writer, and activist, encapsulates a profound understanding of human interconnectedness and social justice. Emma Lazarus was a key figure in late 19th century social activism, particularly known for her advocacy for Jewish immigrants and her famous poem, The New Colossus, which is inscribed on the Statue of Liberty. This quote reflects her deep commitment to collective liberation and social equality. The statement suggests that true freedom is not an individual achievement, but a collective one. It implies that as long as any group of people remains oppressed, marginalized, or denied basic rights, no one can claim to be truly free. The quote challenges the notion of personal freedom existing in isolation and emphasizes our fundamental human interdependence. This philosophical perspective resonates with many social justice movements throughout history. It speaks to the idea that our individual freedoms are intrinsically linked to the freedoms of others. Oppression of any group diminishes the humanity of all groups. The quote calls for solidarity, mutual understanding, and a shared commitment to dismantling systems of inequality. Lazarus's words continue to be relevant today, reminding us that the struggle for human rights and dignity is ongoing and collective. True freedom requires us to recognize and work towards the liberation of all people, regardless of race, gender, class, or any other distinguishing characteristic.
Team quote 9.2. The best protection any woman can have is courage. Elizabeth Stanton, 1815 to 1902. Elizabeth Cady Stanton was a pioneering American suffragist, social activist, and leading figure of the early women's rights movement in the United States. This quote powerfully distills her understanding of women's empowerment and inner strength. By stating that courage is the best protection, Stanton goes beyond physical safety or external defenses. She suggests that courage is a woman's most fundamental shield, an internal resource that can help overcome societal barriers, personal challenges, and systemic oppression. In the context of her time, when women had few legal rights and were largely confined by rigid social expectations, this statement was revolutionary. Stanton and her contemporaries, like Susan B. Anthony, were challenging deeply entrenched patriarchal structures that sought to limit women's autonomy, education, and political participation. The quote implies that courage enables women to speak out against injustice, challenge unfair systems, pursue their goals despite obstacles, maintain dignity in the face of discrimination, assert their own worth and capabilities. Rather than seeking protection from external sources, Stanton advocates for women to cultivate inner strength. Courage, in her view, is not about fearlessness, but about continuing to move forward despite fear, about resilience, self-respect, and the determination to create change. This philosophy was central to the women's suffrage movement and continues to inspire generations of women fighting for equality and self-determination.
Team quote 9.3. Honest people don't hide their deeds. Emily Bronte, 1818 to 1848. This quote by Emily Bronte, the acclaimed English novelist and poet best known for her novel, Wuthering Heights, captures a profound insight into human integrity and transparency. The statement is deceptively simple, but carries deep moral weight. By suggesting that honest people do not hide their actions, Bronte implies that true integrity is characterized by openness, accountability, and a willingness to stand behind one's choices. It reflects a belief that honesty isn't just about telling the truth when asked, but about being comfortable with the visibility of one's actions. In the context of Bronte's literary work, which often explored complex moral landscapes and human psychology, this quote resonates with her nuanced understanding of human nature. Her characters frequently grappled with secrets, moral ambiguity, and the consequences of hidden motivations. The quote suggests several important principles. Genuine honesty requires transparency. People with clear consciences have nothing to conceal. Hiding one's actions often implies a recognition of potential wrongdoing. Integrity is demonstrated through openness, not just through words. This perspective challenges individuals to live authentically, to take responsibility for their actions, and to be willing to have their deeds examined and understood by others. It's a call to moral courage and personal accountability that transcends simple truth-telling.
Team quote 9.4. I like to praise and reward loudly, to blame quietly. Catherine II, 1729 to 1796. This quote is from Catherine the Great, Empress of Russia from 1762 to 1796, who was one of the most powerful and influential rulers in Russian history. Her statement reveals a nuanced approach to leadership and human motivation. The quote suggests a sophisticated understanding of human psychology and effective leadership. By advocating for loud praise and quiet blame, Catherine implies several important leadership principles. 1. Public recognition. Praising loudly serves to motivate people by acknowledging their achievements. Create a positive, encouraging environment. Inspire others by highlighting good performance. Boost morale and self-esteem. 2. Private correction. Blaming quietly demonstrates respect for individual dignity. Avoiding public humiliation. Creating opportunities for personal growth. Maintaining people's sense of worth. Catherine was known for her strategic approach to governance and human relations. This quote reflects her intelligent understanding that people are more likely to improve and remain loyal when their strengths are celebrated publicly and their weaknesses are addressed with discretion and compassion. As an enlightened despot who dramatically modernized Russia, Catherine understood that effective leadership is not about punishment, but about inspiring and guiding people toward better performance and personal development. Her approach balances recognition and correction in a way that preserves human dignity and encourages ongoing improvement.
Team quote 9.5. Goals help you overcome short-term problems. Hannah More, 1745 to 1833. This quote is by Hannah More, an English religious writer, philanthropist, and a significant figure in the abolition movement of the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Her words offer a profound insight into the power of goal setting and long-term thinking. Hannah More suggests that having clear goals serves as a crucial mechanism for navigating immediate challenges. The statement implies several important psychological and motivational principles. 1. Perspective. Goals provide a broader context that helps individuals see beyond temporary obstacles. When facing short-term difficulties, a well-defined goal acts as a beacon, guiding one's efforts and maintaining focus. 2. Motivation. By keeping the ultimate objective in mind, people can find the resilience to push through temporary setbacks. Goals transform challenges from insurmountable barriers into mere hurdles in a larger journey. 3. Resilience. The quote highlights that short-term problems are often just momentary disruptions. With a clear goal, individuals can develop the mental fortitude to overcome these challenges rather than being derailed by them. 4. Strategic thinking. Goals encourage a more strategic approach to problem solving. Instead of getting bogged down by immediate issues, individuals can assess challenges in the context of their larger objectives. More was a remarkable woman who understood perseverance and purpose. As a writer, philanthropist, and social reformer, she likely drew from personal experience in recognizing how committed goals can transform seemingly difficult situations into opportunities for growth and progress. This quote remains relevant today, offering timeless wisdom about the importance of maintaining a forward-looking perspective when confronting life's inevitable challenges.
Team quote 9.6. Reject hatred without hating. Mary Baker Eddy, 1821 to 1910. This profound quote is by Mary Baker Eddy, the founder of Christian Science and a significant religious leader and reformer of the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Her statement captures a deeply sophisticated approach to addressing conflict and negativity. Quote represents a remarkably nuanced perspective on human interaction and moral response. By advocating to reject hatred without hating, Eddy suggests a higher form of moral and emotional intelligence that goes beyond simple reactive responses. Key insights within this brief statement include: 1. Distinction between rejection and hatred. One can disagree with, stand against, or reject an idea, action, or behavior without harboring personal animosity or allowing negative emotions to consume oneself. 2. Emotional maturity. The quote implies a level of self-control and spiritual discipline where one can maintain inner peace and compassion even while firmly opposing destructive ideas or actions. 3. Philosophical nonviolence. This approach echoes principles of nonviolent resistance practiced by leaders like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., where opposition is rooted in love and understanding rather than anger. 4. Spiritual transformation. For Eddy, who was a religious leader, this likely represented a spiritual practice of maintaining one's inner harmony while still taking a principled stand. Quote challenges individuals to rise above base emotional reactions, to be critical of harmful ideologies or actions without becoming bitter or vengeful. Suggests that true strength lies not in matching hatred with more hatred, but in maintaining one's moral and emotional integrity. This perspective remains profoundly relevant in today's often polarized social and political landscapes, offering a path of principled, compassionate resistance.
Team quote 9.7. I want you to understand that your first duty is to humanity. Sarah Breedlove, 1867–1919. This quote is from Sarah Breedlove, better known as Madam C.J. Walker, an extraordinary entrepreneur, philanthropist, and one of the most successful African-American business owners of the early 20th century. The statement reflects her profound sense of social responsibility and her belief that individual success should be measured not just by personal achievement, but by one's contribution to humanity. As a woman who rose from being the daughter of former slaves to becoming a millionaire entrepreneur, Breedlove understood the importance of using one's success and influence to uplift others. Her quote suggests several key principles. Personal success is incomplete without social contribution. Humanity transcends individual, racial, or economic boundaries. We have a moral obligation to work for the collective good. Individual achievements should be seen in the context of broader human progress. Madam C.J. Walker was not just a business success story. She was a pioneering philanthropist who used her wealth and influence to support African American education, anti-lynching efforts, and civil rights. She donated to institutions like the NAACP and supported scholarships and community development. By emphasizing that our first duty is to humanity, she challenges individuals to look beyond personal gain and consider how their actions can benefit the broader human community. It's a call to empathy, social responsibility, and collective progress that remains deeply relevant today. Her life embodied this principle, from her groundbreaking hair care business that employed and empowered thousands of Black women, to her significant charitable work. Sarah Breedlove truly lived her belief in service to humanity.
Team quote 9.8. Instinct is the nose of the mind. Delphine de Girardin, 1804–1855. This quote is by Delphine de Girardin, a prominent French writer, journalist, and salon hostess of the 19th century. Her metaphorical description of instinct offers a fascinating insight into human perception and intuition. By comparing instinct to the nose of the mind, de Girardin suggests that instinct functions like a sensory mechanism for understanding and navigating the world. Just as a nose detects scents imperceptible to other senses, instinct can 1. Detect subtle nuances and underlying truths. 2. Provide immediate pre-rational insights. 3. Sense potential dangers or opportunities before conscious reasoning. 4. Operate as an unconscious form of perception and understanding. The metaphor implies that instinct is not irrational, but a complex form of intelligence that processes information differently from logical thought. It works quickly, drawing on accumulated experience and subconscious pattern recognition. For de Girardin, a woman known for her sharp social observations and literary wit, this description reflects the Romantic era's growing appreciation for intuition and emotional intelligence. She suggests that instinct is not inferior to reason, but a complementary form of knowing, something that sniffs out truths that pure logic might miss. This quote invites us to respect and pay attention to our instinctive responses, recognizing them as a sophisticated form of mental processing that can guide us in complex social and personal landscapes.
Free Easy Extra Advantage Math, Spelling and Reading Workbooks you can download for free at stop2think.com or buy at educationstopshate.com. Free Easy Math Wisdom Workbooks with Octo-Repetition to grow math self-confidence. You'll get plenty of repetitive practice of age ranges and averages of our 52 teams of 8 quote authors. Free Easy Alpha Cipher coded puzzles teach letters, numbers, and phrases using antique wisdoms that encourage and educate. Can you decode this cipher quote of encouragement using either our learning to spell or just for fun instructions? And since time is money, practice reading faster with 52 teams of antique rival wisdoms that have passed the test of time to encourage, educate, and entertain generations for centuries. We offer printed versions and timed videos with background music. Sign up for free weekly emails of 52 teams of antique rival wisdom workbooks with easy math, spelling, and reading practice. And if you'd like to get paid for sharing our wearable wisdoms, keep this in mind. Everyone I know wears a shirt, and most of us change them daily. So, change your shirt and change the world. Social equalities are blatantly subliminal antique positive wisdoms repetitively shared without saying a word. This applies to all our wearable shareable wisdoms, like pretty witty baby onesies and baby tees that you and others will see and read multiple times a day. The same is true with pretty witty kids, but they'll also share these wisdoms with anyone that can read at daycare or school. Youthful truths let your kids gain confidence, sharing antique wisdoms with their friends. Imagine them sharing words of wisdom with classmates and teachers. I think, therefore I think tees I wear is a super easy way to share words of wisdom that have passed the test of time. Our social equalities help make us all wiser and kinder with blatantly subliminal messages, promoting a more fair and equal opportunity society for all. And don't forget our giftwisdoms.com for birthdays and holidays that makes it easy to share the wisdom with clothing, coffee mugs, and magnets. So do the future a favor by encouraging, educating, and entertaining with words of wisdom that have passed the test of time to make us all wiser and kinder. With wearable wisdoms to fit babies, kids, and adults, you can clothe a whole family, city, or state. Join the 52 of 8 today.